Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review, and today from McFarlane Toys, in their DC Multiverse line, we have Black Adam with Throne. So this version of Black Adam depicts actor Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as Black Adam, as seen in the live-action film. I've previously reviewed the first two versions of this figure. There was one, I want to say there's one with I think a cape and a hood, and then one that looks pretty much exactly like this figure. Unfortunately, I don't have those other figures on hand for this review. So at the very least, we're going to take a look at this guy solo. But I think what people are really interested in is that this guy comes with a throne. Much like the Lex Luthor figure that we got much earlier in the year. So I'm going to say this right now. If you don't have a Black Adam figure currently in your collection, if you passed up on the first two releases, I'm going to say it right now, just get this one. This one comes with a throne accessory, which I think is invaluable to any collection. It adds some character to your display space. If you're into action figure photography, it's a great prop. You can use this for other characters beyond just Black Adam. So if you previously passed on the first two versions of the figure and you happen to come across this guy, I highly suggest you pick up this figure. For one, I reviewed this figure already, and it's a beautiful figure, incredibly well done, beautiful sculpting, great articulation. But for me, the big selling point on this guy is the throne accessory. You're also paying the same price as a standard McFarlane figure. This is not one of the deluxe Build-A-Figure, pieces, or the mega figures. This comes in a standard size McFarlane box, and he just happens to come with a cool throne. On the back, we have some beautiful comic book inspired artwork. It looks great. And let's get started. So today is November 27th, 2022. I purchased this at my local Target in the United States. So I don't anticipate this figure review being as long as the other ones. Like I said, I've already reviewed this action figure. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. In that video, I actually reviewed both versions of the first releases in the same video. Alright, so this guy comes with a trading card and a display base. But this is what we're here for. The throne accessory. This thing is beautiful. As you can see, it's a really just hollow piece of plastic. Exercise some care when you handle it. Not that it's fragile, but this is one of those kind of pieces that if you accidentally stepped on it, you'd easily crack it. But it's a beautiful piece, very light, incredibly detailed, as you can see here. Wonderful paint application. It's almost like they took a gold paint and kind of dry brushed it on the edges to provide some highlighting, and it just looks really well done. My first thought too when I saw this at the store is that I'd love to get this this throne just to use as a display piece, not only for Black Adam but also for the recent live action Namor. Namor needs a throne, and I think this would go great with Namor, or any character really, but it's just a really beautiful piece. The amount of detailing is really, really awesome. It looks fantastic. Yeah, so for me, I'm paying money just for this throne. The figure is kind of like an afterthought, just because I already have this in my collection. And we looked at this figure before. It's really well done. One of the things I'm most impressed with is the likeness to the actor, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Like most of the time, McFarlane, it's always hit or miss when it comes to capturing the likeness of the actors. In this case, I think they did a great job, creating The Rock's look. You know, really getting his facial expressions, and it looks beautiful. Really well done action figure. As you can see, it looks exactly like The Rock. You know, unlike that John Cena Peacemaker figure, you know, or the Jason Momoa Aquaman, the likeness on those figures is just really subpar. This guy is excellent. Again, I'm not sure if this might be a new head sculpt compared to the ones we got previously. But as you can see, the figure is just really beautiful, well done. The amount of detail and texturing is just incredible. The paint application on his bracers and belt it's really beautiful also. They do a great job of taking some gold paint and like dry brushing it over the black plastic. It provides a much more realistic look and adds some life and history to the costume. Yeah, so this figure, it's a standout figure. It's awesome. It was also a very fun movie. I enjoyed the movie a lot more than I thought I would. So, and if you haven't seen Black Adam, check it out. It's a good time. For the figure, in terms of the articulation, it's very standard. Head rotates. Does he look down? Looks down about there. Does he look up? This is a cool thing. You know, it's great that he can look up this high because, you know, he's a flyer. So it's nice that we could do that. You can recreate some cool flying poses. So that's awesome that his head looks up like that. The articulation on this guy, it's pretty silky smooth in certain areas like the arms, as you can see right here. It's almost a little bit too loose for my taste, but it's nice. You don't have to fight it. Everything kind of moves really well with each other. You have all the standard articulation that you expect from a McFarlane toy. You have the mid-torso cut. This might bother some people how the lightning bolt kind of flaps around a little at the bottom, but it's not that bad in my opinion. Overall, very solid figure. You know, this is really an excellent piece. And let's see how he sits on his throne. I think that's what we're all here to see. Alright, so these figures, they're not the greatest for trying to get in a seated position. I'm trying to like... Some of these joints are super tight also. Exercise some caution because like I said in one video, I actually like pinched my finger in one of these knee joints and it wasn't pretty. It actually broke the skin. So just be careful. And this joint here is super tight on the knee. Oh, I can't get it to bend. Let me try again. Yeah, this knee does not want to... This one's really tight, so I might just have to forego that knee and try to seat them best as possible. Alright, so a lot of these figures have, you know, they have the right amount of articulation, but sometimes the posability isn't the greatest. Especially, like I said, trying to get them in a seated position is kind of difficult. You know, these figures are more like they want to be standing. They don't want to necessarily be sitting down. But for the most part, yeah, it's kind of hard to get them in like a fully relaxed, seated pose just because this kind of like plastic diaper kind of deal, it doesn't allow for a full range of motion when it comes to raising his leg upward. You know, it'll only go so far, so I don't want to force it. But this will give you an idea of what you could, you know, somewhat do with the throne. It's kind of a much more lazy, lounging pose. But it's nice. You know, for me, this is the big selling point. Being able to sit The Rock on this cool throne looks awesome. It makes me wish that every McFarlane figure came with like an accessory or prop this big. You know, it kind of boggles my mind that we haven't gotten like a Batman figure that comes with some sort of like computer console, which I think would be amazing. You know, that's something that McFarlane should explore, is like give us a wave of Batman figures, you know, 4 to 5 figures, you know, capturing one of the, like a Batman theme, maybe like from a certain miniseries or the films or whatever, And I would love to see them like package a Batman accessory with each figure in that wave. You know, maybe they give us a Batman that comes with his desk chair. You know, maybe they give us a Nightwing that's a computer console, a Batgirl with a monitor. And it'd be awesome instead of a Build-A-Figure if it's a Build-A-Scene. And if they gave us, each figure had a certain, you know, piece to that scene, and in the end you get to build this cool display or diorama. I would love that, especially with something like this. You know, I get to handle something like this, and it seems like it'd be something that's easily doable. So this is great. I love this. It kind of reminds me of that Lex Luthor we got with the Throne of Apocalypse. Excellent accessory. So how do I rate this on a scale of 1 to 10? For me, it's really, really close to being perfect. The only thing that holds it back is that even though this figure is well articulated, well crafted, and beautifully detailed, the posability isn't there quite yet to get this guy to sit in like every kind of seating pose you'd want. You know, like I mentioned, it's hard to get his leg bent up in that fully like right angle to like have him to be seated perfectly in here. Real quick, I'm kind of curious about this. So this is a Diamond Select Alfred figure from the Gotham series, and I'm kind of curious if this guy will. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. So a figure like this could easily be seated fully because the range of motion for the leg goes completely up. And I don't see how something like this would be seated in the throne. Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. You know, the articulation here is much better suited for getting that seated pose as opposed to this McFarlane figure. And, you know, if you're looking at this, I'm sure your gears in your head are probably spinning, thinking all the different characters and figures you could add to this throne. And it's just really neat. It's a fun accessory. You know, it's crazy to think that just having a chair in your collection can open up so many possibilities in terms of like your display options or what you could do with like action figure photography. All right, so let's wrap this one up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it. So until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next one. All right, later.